To multiply decimals, we first line up the numbers or decimals vertically according to the right-hand side. That means we want the numbers flush on the right. Next, multiply as if the numbers were whole numbers. Refer to section 1.6 if you need to review. Count the number of decimal places in your factors. And finally, place the decimal in the product so that it matches the number of decimal places in the factors. In this first example, we are multiplying 7/10 and 3/100. Remember that the order that we put factors in doesn't matter. So let's do the 3/100 in the top and the 7/10 on the bottom. Notice that we want the numbers flush on the right. We're not aligning decimals like we did with addition and subtraction. We want to be flush on the right. And I like putting the most digits in the top. Notice the first number has 3 digits. The bottom number has 2 digits. The order doesn't matter, but doing it this way will make the process a little bit easier. Now multiply like we normally would. 7 times 3 is 21. And now we're done with the multiplication. We now need to count the number of decimal places. In the factors, we have 1, 2, 3 total decimal places. That means the result, the product, must have 3 total decimal places. So we need to add a 0 here before we add the decimal. Notice we have 1, 2, 3 decimal places now. And while you don't technically need a 0 out front, I highly recommend that you put that 0 there just to help prevent careless mistakes later. In our next example, we have 45 and 9/10 times 42 hundredths. And we want to multiply. Notice we are aligning the numbers flush on the right. 2 times 9 is 18. Carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. 0 placeholder. 4 times 9 is 36. We'll carry the 3. 4 times 5 is 20. Plus 3 is 23. Carry the 2. 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 2 is 18. Now we add those. 8, 7, 12, 9, 1. And now we need to count the number of decimal places in the factors. There are 1, 2, 3 total decimal places in the factors. That means we need 1, 2, 3 decimal places in the product. In example C, we have negative 36 times 8/10. Let's multiply and then we'll worry about the sign at the end. 8 times 6 is 48. So we have the 8, carry the 4. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 4 is 28. 1 decimal place. And now recognize that it's negative times a positive. So this is a negative product. Up next, let's multiply first and then deal with the sign in the end. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 4. 1 times 5. We need a 0 placeholder. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 1 is 16. Now the 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 4. 1 times 5. Add. We get 2. 10, carry the 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1. 11, carry the 1. 7. Count the number of decimals. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places in the factors. We need 4 decimals in the final result. And now recognize that we have a negative times a negative, which is a positive. So this is a positive answer. In these examples, we want to estimate each product and then compare the estimate to the actual product. Remember, with estimation, we typically round to the nearest whole number unless otherwise stated. So rounding this to the nearest whole number, we're looking at the ones digit, look to the right of the ones digit, and we see it's a 2. That means we round down to 30. And in this number 2 is in the ones position. Look to the right of that, we see a 9, which means we round up to get a 3. So we have 3 times 30, or 30 times 3. That is 90. Let's use the calculator to quickly check that product. So the real product is 90 and 1,748 10,000ths, which is relatively close to our estimate. Our estimate is an underestimate, but it's close. In the next example, we want to estimate first by rounding. We'll round to the nearest whole number again. If 6 is the rounding digit, look to the right, and we see that we need to round up to 7. And the 4 here, look to the right, round down to 4. 7 times 4 is 28. And again, we'll use the calculator to quickly check our true product. $28 and 56 hundredths. So again, we have an underestimate, but we are close to the true product.